Hey guys, what's going on? Sherman here. I'm really excited to bring this review to you guys today because I don't get to review a lot of flashlights. I love my lights. I don't own a whole lot of them, but I do love lights. If you're in the EDC community, you probably will too. Even if you're not in the EDC community, I know that if it's one piece of EDC gear that most people who are not into EDC gear have on them is a flashlight. Whether it's this or the flashlight on their cell phone. You know, most people I know carry some sort of flashlight on their keychain, in the glove box of their car, in their purse, whatever. Most people have the need to want to have some illumination in the dark. It's a very primal thing. So, you know, if you're in the EDC community though, your taste in flashlights is going to be a little bit more broad, probably a little bit more expensive. but this is a fantastic option on the market today. This was sent to me from Thrunite to do this review, so a huge thank you to them. This is a brand new company to me. I've never owned one of their products before. This is my first, but I have heard about them for a while now. Cutlery Lover's done a lot of reviews of their products, and so have a lot of other big name YouTubers. So big name out there right now, but I can tell you that it is not hype. Their stuff is amazing. I've been testing this one and carrying it for a few weeks now. Done some torture tests that I'll probably splice into this review. If not, I'll do a separate video on. But this thing is incredible. I wanted to show you the packaging real quick. Very cool packaging. Came in this little Altoids tin, and you're going to get a little card, a little thank you card, an instruction book, and then it comes with, at least mine anyway, the Ti3 came with a little gate ring and a spare O-ring. You can put that on your keys. But it has a pocket clip, so I just usually carry it in my pocket. But anyway, a lot of people are going to see the price and be like, you know, you get what you pay for, you know, I'm not going to get something that cheap. I don't know how they do it, but this is a fantastic competitive option. This is up there in quality with 4.7s, Phoenix, O-Light. I'll put this up against any of those lights, but at a much more budget-friendly price. Now you can get cheaper versions of those other lights, of those other companies I mentioned, but not ones, in my opinion, with the same kind of output at this size. So this is a single AAA battery flashlight. It has a Cree XPL V6 LED, and this is the cool white version. Cool white meaning the LED type. They also have a natural white. I don't really know what the difference is. You'd be able to tell side by side. I don't know enough about lights to be able to tell you guys the definite, the differences though. Now this emitter, the Cree XPL V6, they say it has a 20-year lifespan. I believe that. These Cree XP series emitters are fantastic. So yeah, just awesome. This is made of aircraft grade aluminum with a Type 3 hard anodizing with an abrasion resistant finish. Very cool. I believe there's a titanium version of this light. A lot of people are going to see, you know, Ti and think that it's titanium, but it's aluminum. This is the Ti3. You can get Ti1, 2, and 3, and then there are different LED versions of even the Ti3. Pocket clip comes with a stainless steel pocket clip. It is removable. And it is reversible. So I always keep it almost tipped down, so bezel down or lens down in the pocket. Carries very well. Or you can take it out and switch it, and that way you can clip it onto the bill of your hat or a backpack strap, like your shoulder strap. Clip it onto the MOLLE, illuminate your way a little bit. And there is your key ring hole. Very nice knurling all around here, knurling on the bezel and knurling on the body. It's not aggressive in that it's going to sand your skin off, but it's aggressive enough to get a good bit of traction on this small light. So here it is in my hand. It's very small. It is only 2 3/4 inches long, and it has a 1/2 inch diameter. Weighs 0.4 ounces, so less than half of an ounce. So very cool. I believe that it is with the battery as well. So I'm just going to do some quick size comparisons. Here it is next to a standard Bic lighter. Bic lighter is bigger. and then next to a Streamlight MicroStream, because I feel like that is a competitor. That is definitely one that a lot of people have. It's a very popular light. It's a little bit more expensive than this light, and it half the lumen output. Actually, more than half the lumen output. So I just want to throw that out there. And it's made better, I believe. Waterproof to IPX8 standards. It is drop resistant up to 1 meter, which is about 3.5, 4 feet, I believe. I've dropped it from farther distances though, and it's still working. So I just want to show you real quick. The bezel unscrews. That's how you change out your batteries. This is a fresh battery for the video, by the way. So you got the O-ring there for waterproofing. Very smooth threads. It is a bezel or twist activated light, meaning there is no push button on the back. But I did want to mention that the back is flat, so you can do what they call candle mode or tail stand. So you can stand your flashlight straight up so that if the power were to go out or you're in a dark room, you need illumination throughout the entire room, not necessarily in one spot. You stand it on its tail cap like that, and it'll illuminate the whole room because the light will reflect off the ceiling. So I want to show you guys the modes and how the operation works. So you're going to twist it. You're going to do a tightening motion. So just twisting it on the first time, it puts it in what they call firefly mode, which is 0.8 lumens. So not even a whole lumen, 0.8 lumens, and it'll run in firefly mode for 120 hours. So you're thinking that's not a lot of light at all, which it's not. That's not a lot of light. It's not even a whole lumen. I'm trying to show you guys, you can see. I'm going to turn the lights off as well so you guys can see. But I wanted you to see the twist motion. So when you first turn it on, after not using it for a little bit, it's going to go directly into firefly mode. Turn it off by twisting it the opposite way, turning it back on within, I believe, 2 seconds. And that puts it in the next setting, which is medium. And it runs at 10 lumens for 6.5 hours. 10 lumens is more than you guys think. That's really the most, like all you'll pretty much need for most EDC tasks. For a light of this size that you're going to carry on your keys or just down into your pocket, you're not trying to illuminate the woods or anything like that, or spotlight an owl in a tree. But that's going to be what you're, probably the setting you're going to use the most. Again, you're going to twist in the opposite direction and turn it back and twist it back the opposite direction from that to get to your next highest setting, which is high, which is 130 lumens. That is very bright for a light this size, and I believe, or at least in my experience, it's one of the highest outputs of a light this size on the market today. So it'll run like this for, it says on their website, this is where I'm getting all the information from their actual website, for 30 minutes. Now I've seen other tests and other people say that it will actually last roughly 45 to 50 minutes on high. It's going to vary on your battery. If you ever reach one of the rechargeable AAAs, it may last a little bit longer than the stock Energizer I have here. But that's how that works. So again, you're gonna turn it the other way. But then after you cycle through all three of those modes, the next time you turn it on, it's gonna go back to that firefly setting. Now I do it 3 times fast. When you cycle through all the settings 3 times fast, I just did it, I'll do it again. It's gonna go into strobe. I'm gonna take that off camera in case anybody has any issues. And now it'll strobe at 130 lumens for an hour. So very cool if you're in distress, use that to get somebody's attention. If you put a diffuser on here, like a red diffuser, you can use it as like a distress emergency beacon. So pretty cool. Again, to go through that, to get to the strobe function, you have to cycle through all 3 brightness settings twice, and then, there we go. You have to go through all 3 brightness settings twice, and on the 3rd time of twisting it on, it'll go into strobe. Now you can also do a little trick where if you loosen the bezel just enough for the light to turn off, you can do almost like a button actuation, where all you do is you kind of, and you can do it a bunch of different ways, but you basically pinch the bezel or push the bezel in a just one direction or the other, and you see it'll actually turn the light on. A lot of people like to do this if they don't like the bezel actuation. They like much more of a push button. So this kind of gives you that option. Now, a word of caution: if you do this and carry it in your pocket, just the tiniest bit of pressure is going to turn this on inside your pocket, and before you know it, your battery's going to be drained, and you won't even know it. So I like to unscrew mine quite a bit until you can't turn it on by pushing the bezel. You can also squeeze the bezel and push it down towards the battery, and they'll also actuate it. But again, I loosen mine so much where you can't do that. One more quick thing: the reflector. Let's see if my camera will pick up on that. The reflector has what's called an orange peel finish, and you can probably guess why they call it that. What that does is it gives the spotlight, it gives the beam that this projects a flood. So the beam that this projects is a flood beam. It's not a spot, meaning there is no big bright hot spot in the middle and then a bunch of light around it. It's just a floodlight. And because this is such a small light, you want it to illuminate the most as possible, the most space possible. Like I said, you're not trying to spotlight something in a tree or illuminate something down deep into the woods with this. It's a little keychain light. So I'm going to turn the lights off now and show you guys what the beam looks like when it's dark. Hopefully the camera will focus. This is the Firefly mode, or the 0.8 lumens. You can see it's illuminating enough. It's just enough to see. So a good amount of light just to be able to, if you drop something on the floorboard of your car, you're trying to pick something up, just, the pitch dark. This is enough to get by without, if you have somebody with you, if you're on a camping trip, there's people around you sleeping, you're not going to wake them up with this light. You're trying to get ready for work in the morning, you don't want to wake up your wife. This is a good way to do it because it gives you just enough light to see in the pitch dark without ruining your night vision. So going up to medium, again I'm going to turn it off, turn it back on. I believe I did that twice too fast, so it turned it into the high mode. Alright, so this is medium, or 10 lumens, which is plenty in low light, especially in pitch dark situations. That's a lot of light. That's the perfect amount of light for most situations. Where Firefly doesn't cut it, this definitely will, especially for a light of this size. Again, you have to keep in mind the practical use of this light is an EDC light, like a keychain or just a pocket carry flashlight. That's 10 lumens. Bump it up to 130. So blinding in the pitch dark. This is going to get you by when 10 lumens isn't doing it. If you need to illuminate something for some reason pretty far away, this can get the job done. 130 lumens is a lot for a light this size. Alright guys, wanted to do a little bit of a distance test. This isn't anything scientific, but I'm about 12 feet away. I'm going to turn it on the 10 lumens because you won't even see Firefly from this distance. So I'm going to turn it on medium mode, which is, like I said, is 10 lumens. About 12 feet away, it's lighting up my kayak shed over here. I'm going to put it on 130 now. Completely illuminates it. One of the tests that I conducted with this light is I threw it in a bottle of water, shook it up real good, did not get any water inside the light at all. It is completely waterproof, so I didn't take it down at a certain depth to test the waterproofing at a certain depth because I couldn't, but I knew that it would do fine if it didn't leak inside of a bottle of water. And then I took that bottle of water and I threw it in the freezer. And I froze it for 24 hours. So I'll try to insert a clip in here. I froze it for 24 hours, took it out of the freezer, and I had turned it on before I put it in there. It was still on after 24 hours. Still on. Took it out, ran it under a hot faucet, thawed it out, and it worked perfectly fine. maybe not what you guys are thinking as a practical test, because when are you ever going to freeze your flashlight or get it frozen? But if you live in a very snowy, cold environment, you were to carry this, drop it in the snow for a while, it gets frozen or whatever, it's going to be okay. It's going to be fine if you drop it in a puddle of water. I've seen people do videos where they run over theirs in their car and they're just fine. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. If you have any questions about this light, let me know in the comments. There's a link in the description to their website and a 20% off coupon code that is valid from now until December 23rd of this year, 2016, where you can get this light for $15.96 on their website. Or you can get it off of Amazon for $16.95. But hurry up, guys. Christmas is coming. This is going to be a fantastic stocking stuffer for the gear EDC lover or the person that needs a flashlight and doesn't have one. So turn them on to high quality gear with this. So big thank you to Thrunite. Definitely go and check out this product or any of their other lights. I'm anxious to get hold of some more to review. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Stay safe, stay sharp, and God bless. Sherman614. Peace.